Hello. Good. Hey. Oh, gotta turn the inbox off. That don't want those notifications. How's it going tonight? Oh, hold on one second. Wait a minute. I can't barely hear you. Yeah, can you speak up?
Yeah.
You're a little bit quieter than we were last night.
Let me go see if I can check my audio here.
That's better.
There you go.
That does sound better. Now, I am watching myself right now. Now, I don't know if I'm actually one of the people watching.
Okay.
You know, actually, hold on a second. I'm just going to quickly mute that.
I can see both.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
The stream is showing up. That's good.
Good.
Yep. It's all good.
You get the hang of this, buddy. It's good.
Oh, yeah. I even I did. You know, started off with the little 30-second timer. I preset this one for 15 minutes ahead. Yeah, I'm playing. I'm figuring it out.
There you go.
Have you done one of these before? Have you actually like set these up and like, you know?
I haven't used StreamYard. I use OBS instead.
Yeah, well, I got OBS, but I noticed that everyone like from journalism to like Ironworks were all using StreamYard, and I thought, well, this seems to be what everyone else is using. I'll just practice on it, and it's very easy. I have to admit, it's very easy.
All right. Have you figured out how to share videos with sound yet?
Look, I don't really 100% know, but I think it actually is to do with my Yeti. Because I've noticed that whenever I do anything normal, while I'm like recording like a YouTube video or whatever, if I've got the Yeti plugged in, I won't hear the sound on the recording.
Okay.
And so I have to go back and yank it out. So if I wanted to go and do a video or something like that, I might just simply yank it out and turn my volume down.
All right. So yesterday I showed you Terry and his crew on that video.
Yes.
There was a big team that were doing nightly or weekly calls
Yes.
with that group, but they're no longer active, so I don't know what happened to them. Terry
So
seems to be active.
Ended. So it ended like a while ago, did it?
Yeah, I think about a year or so ago. Can't remember when,
Okay.
but yeah, but he's no longer. He's still available on Discord and stuff like on some of the channels, but the whole team is like gone. I know a few debunkers that have left the area. I think some of them I like subscribe to, but they're no longer available. So there you
go. But this is the best time to be involved right now.
It's hilarious.
It is like right now. This week is the best time. This is like the peak of flat Earth fucking hilarity.
I mean, like everybody. I saw Greater Sapiens, the takedown of the Flurf tiers. I've seen the guy who does gravity. Him.
Gravity, you idiot.
There's a file his video on TFE. So quite a few people are bringing out content.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing a series myself.
Sorry?
I was thinking about doing a series myself.
What, like this?
No, like I was going to do like short series, like 200 Flurf excuses.
Okay. You know, I'm actually finding that this is actually really a whole lot easier. Because when I do all my videos and stuff, you know, I'm preparing things, you know, I'm cleaning up all my files, I'm like strapping it all together, and then I have to go and cut it and trim it and stuff. And on this thing, I'm just sitting there.
Right.
This whole streaming thing does it all for me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to, you know, because when you do your OBS, you know, you've got your you got to go out there and trim it and process it and get it to the right scale and stuff. So it's a pain in the ass.
We can do live stream from OBS. You know that.
Yes, I have. Yeah, I wanted to do that initially, but I didn't really know how to. And when I just simply just looked up Streamer, I thought, well, I'll see what that actually does, because I'm pretty sure that you still need to connect OBS with something else.
Right.
And I'm guessing with OBS, you don't get to put something in the comments. So like I can go out there and there you go, put the StreamYard comment up on the screen. I don't know if OBS does that or not.
It depends on what software you have. I've got OBS, and I did some research and found how to do the stream on multiple services, like not only Facebook, YouTube, and the Twitch.
Oh yeah, but this one does that too. It in the settings you can go in, you can hit your Facebook account, you can hit Instagram, Rumble, whatever it is. It just streams to an wall.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, so it kind of takes care of everything, really.
Yeah, good. I haven't used it, so I'll give it a buzz. Probably after Christmas.
Yeah. Well, what I should do, I don't know if do you have a few people you might want to, who you think would be up right now?
Well, I know that the team from TFC, I think Dave is still just landed in Korea about a couple hours.
Yeah, but those guys are pretty busy. I don't really think I want to be annoying those guys. They need their rest. They probably got a lot of things on. I was just thinking, is there anyone who's usually up like the way Petey was and all that sort of stuff yesterday, and Andrew.
Yeah. Well, apart from Andrew, I mean, Professor Phil Bill is up this time of night.
You think so?
I have no idea.
Could.
You'd have to go like a troll through the Discord and see who's available for a chat if they want to come in or whatever.
Okay. Well, I've just copied the link. What is the best way to do this?
Did it amuse you what Bev said though?
Oh, is that what the guy who was on screen was Bev?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because like there was, I know that I saw Ruhif was talking to him, and he had drawn this arc, and then he drew straight, and he went straight to the line. I'm like, fuck. Okay. To some degree, probably if Ruhif could have thought it through a little bit better, he probably could have actually said, you know what, stuff position number 1, go to position number 3 where you actually are on top of the globe, and we'll consider 1 and 2 left, and 4 and 5 the right. So you could have.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, you could have used an alternate to be able to get in there and whatever, just like put him at the top of his actual stupid sketch. So,
well, again, it's talking to Bev the surveyor, or apparently surveyor, because Bev was
famous. So the guy on the screen was a surveyor. I'm sorry, is that what you just said?
Yeah, he did a surveying course. He did a surveying course, or he bought a surveying tool, and he went. I think he went out to. I think this all started when Ranty took his famous mountain photo, which got him out of flat Earth community, because they pointed out to him that this is impossible on a flat Earth, and said, "Oh, yeah, you're right there." So little things like that. So and then Bev went out there with his surveying tool, what it's called, auto level, what it's called, to
yes, the auto level.
Yeah, and he's put a stick in the ground, another stick in the ground, and his idea is, okay, this is level, because Flurfs love using level to say levels parallel to the ground, and flat and level thing. They don't understand dynamics and everything like that. So okay, whatever.
Sorry, he said he put a stick in the ground and he called that level. Sorry, maybe
he was trying to like a measuring stick to see how high what it was. Yeah. So he put the auto station, put the stick in the ground some distance away, leveled his auto station, then went to another location, just like surveyors do.
Yes.
And he was trying to debunk the flat Earth. I mean the globe Earth. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. And what was he shooting to the bottom of the stick?
I have
shooting to the top of the stick.
His thinking is so warped because he's so stuck on his level meme, in other words, saying that everything is level. Because if you're using a level to level the ground or your buildings or whatever, it should, the world is level then, right?
Yes,
by default. And then no. And there, so when they come up with, who was that? I think Mick was saying when you put you got to have a mile long level to measure the surface of the earth. Yeah, see if you can get a mile long level in the first place, right?
Well, it's I've thought about this same scenario, and like, how do you go out there and create a device which is 1 kilometer long, made of welded steel or whatever like that, and you transport it around to be able to do whatever leveling leveling measurements you want. And how do you guarantee that particular device is straight all the way for that 1 kilometer? This is the biggest problem about these guys are saying, that they want to make sure that that the ground measures level. How do you do it? You can only use sight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or like lasers, but lasers do flare out. You're gonna have to equate for refraction, or at least minimize it, and just run with it.
Well, I've got a question for you for today.
You have a question for today? Okay. So, do I get a prize if I get it right?
I have not. You can get a cookie if you wish.
A cookie? Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you are something to do with baking cakes, so I'd expect the cake to turn up at my front door.
Fair enough. Okay. So I was commenting on one of the videos there and about the TFE, and they were saying about the classic undertaking, which is it's not an observation, it's not an experiment, right? They were saying here, if I can find it here, the Earth is imploding. I've just got to find it here. Just give me a moment. There we go.
Sorry, can you hear me? Yeah, you can. Sorry, this mic. My son accidentally yanked it off the top of the computer with the chair once. And one little flick on the bottom of the the USB B or whatever the hell it is, bang, the whole thing cuts out. I'll have to go and buy a new one because this one,
I can hear you fine.
It's good quality, but the USB connection is one touch and it's fucked. So I cut out this end.
So here is the quote. He says, "A visual observation is not an experiment."
Oh.
What can you say to that?
Well, let's just stop using our eyes and just drive around on the road with our eyes closed. Let's
hang on. So yeah, he's sort of right in some respects, and sort of, but very wrong in others. Because every experiment, as far as I know, using observation to observe the phenomena that you're doing, right? Any experiment. Then I sent them the link to Will Duffy's explanation on how the observation is an experiment after all. And I'm thinking, so like, sure, you come up with the hypothesis. You come up with the how do we test it? So we have this 24-hour sun. So we go down there. Okay, the sun's moving. So that's visual clarification and observation, saying yes, it does 24 hours. There's nothing to refute that. There's no a NASA sun machine going around doing double suns or coffee cup caustic and anything like that, is there? So no.
I certainly didn't see one. I didn't see any balloons carrying big lights.
So yeah, I thought as far as I know, all experiments are visual. I mean,
yes, of course. I mean, like most of the comments of people speaking to me today, they said, it looks flat. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's an observation. Yeah. We've measured it flat. That's an observation.
Yes.
These are all observations. So yeah, someone was saying today, you can't look at the sky to reconcile, the ground.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, what was it they said? I can't remember. I had a point and I lost it. God damn it.
So like they'll bring up the ancients in regards to the old maps they had, all saying this. All these civilizations thought the world was flat, and I'm thinking, hang on, if you look at what the ancients did, like if you look at Egypt, especially Egypt, and you got the Stonehenge, and you got other places around the world, they all focused on one thing, which was when the sun was at the equinox, right?
Yes.
So they put a hole at a specific place, and at this particular time of the year, the sun would hit this particular spot and hit another spot on the wall and say, okay, it's time for equinox. The sun's here. Now we can go farming and do whatever, right? So that was the clocks.
Okay. I don't know how that went on to farming, but okay. Is that something to do with farming the crops or something like that?
Well, again, like so, in order for us humans to evolve, to keep time, so we have these things called seasons, which philosophers can't manage to explain. Like so, we've got the sun going up north to heat the Alaska and Europe and so forth, and then you're coming down here for another couple of 6 months, and then hitting us, and winter up there. So they get so you're going up. Yeah, I noticed the sun does this and on this particular day, and then 6 months later, they write things down or put a scratch in a rock or something. This is day one. This is day two. Whatever it was. So they're trying to keep track of what was happening, and then this has happened this time last year because someone remembered it. It could happen this time this year. So they plan for it and start building crops and. This year we are today, right?
Yeah. It seems to come back and do exactly the same thing it did the year before.
Yeah.
So,
see, Crypto Roast, give us a thumbs up. Is that you?
I think that he has put 2 hands up, and he's got small chips of cheese between his fingers. That's what I can see. I see 4. I see 3 large, sort of more cheddary type pieces of cheese between the fingertips. If anything, Crypto Rose, could you just make sure that you get a little bit of what do you call it? Some antifungals onto those fingernails of yours. Hey, Roasty, if you have the ability, just jump up on the stage and let's go.
Is he Flurf or is he Glober?
As far as I know, I think he's in. I think he might be in LA, and he's a Glober. He goes and does videos of like boats going over the horizon.
And that's it. Yeah. So many thousands of years ago, some bloke said, they're out fishing, going, there's a boat out there, and it's gone below the horizon. What does that mean? Yeah. We've been observing this stuff for thousands of years, right?
Well, okay. So there's one thing I really want to do when I like I've been paying it. Like last night I mentioned to you about Plane Reality or Reality Plane. I don't know. His name goes backwards and forwards every single time. He talks about perspective in a 3D virtual space, right? And he says that the horizon rises to eye level, right?
Right.
But then he says the reverse is the opposite on the other side when it goes down to the boat. So the boat is encountering the exact same phenomenon as you, right? And so it's like a bit of an inverse perspective. Now, the funny thing about that sort of thing is that is just like a funnel from 2 sides, but there's something missing in between.
My brain hurt just thinking about it.
There's a curve. There's a curve in between, and that's the only reason why it can be explained.
Yeah.
I might see if I can.
I think the first argument they ever come up with was, show me the curve, show me the curve. We showed them the curve, and they go, nah, that's not the curve.
Yeah. Yeah. What I might try to do, how do I... Okay, Plane Real is so fucking confident the sun was going to set in Jaren's TG channel. Haven't heard from him days. Really? You haven't heard from him days? Good. He's fucking annoying. He's really fucking annoying. I've got I've got a paint document up. I'm going to see if I can actually present it. 1 second.
Many
It'd be
flat
nice.
earthers are like that. They're very annoying. They'll just go on, scattergun you, they interrupt you, or we'll call your names. And every time they call your names, you know you won.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to bloody do entire screen. I hate this. Yeah. That's fine. Just do it. Okay. So I will add to the stage now. As you can see, everything's turned to shit. Now, can you see a paint document?
Yep.
A blank paint document.
Okay, so certainly can.
Okay, so I'll do a rough, crappy, 50-cent sketch of what I think Plain Reality thinks is actually happening, right?
Right. Should be fun.
Now, okay, I'm going to draw a dude. This is going to take a while. This is the thing. 'Cause sometimes when you draw, it just draws like shit, doesn't it? Right. Okay, let's draw a man, right? Okay, go and get my circle. That's his head, right? And then I'll do the paintbrush. And he's got a big fucking dick, a pair of balls right there. Okay. Now, I'll turn to black. Now, so he believes, right, that the distance rises to eye level, right? So you put a little eye in here. Oh God, fucking stop! Oh, don't. Okay, that's his eye level, right? So he believes that you see
like
that rise to eye level, right?
Okay.
And that everything is inside this cone, right? So if you put some other object in the middle here, right? Let's say it's that big, right? So it fits inside that cone. It looks like it's risen up from your eyes because it's on a high level, and it looks like it's crunched down from below. And so if you go out there and find another boat that has gone, more than 30 miles or something like that up in distance, he thinks that the cone is inverted like this, right?
All right.
So I might just quickly stretch this over a little bit so I can make it a bit easier. So as you can see, so this is the cone of perspective, right? So I will change this color here. So this is the grids of of how much your visual space expands, and for the boat on the opposite side, their visual space expands.
Right.
And let's say this is a ship over here. Right? I'll make it green, whatever. So the difference is here, which he seems to be forgetting, is that there's a line between here and here, and that's basically the flat level plane, right? Oh, sorry, wrong one. That's the flat level plane. But why on earth is it the horizon's up over here? Well, I'll tell you why it's up there. Because it's like that. That's the curve getting in the way. That's the curve going up to the horizon. Yeah. Now, this, of course, does not explain. We don't see the actual curve going up and back down again.
No.
From wherever we're standing, it actually starts to dip straight away. If we're looking at water, it dips straight away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my stupid explanation of why he seems to think that everything rises to eye level. And he thinks that that's how it works. So this green line is more correct as to the way actually things go. So you're always at the top, and it always curves down. So,
I mean, the first part of your drawing where you got the guy standing there and looking at the perspective thing, that would be true for a 2D painting, like the 2D. Yes. I mean, you had great painters in the past that do fantastic 2D depth paintings. How they did it is like great. But when you're out in the ocean on a real boat and you can see the horizon, and then you go a little bit higher or a little bit higher on the mast. This is why they have masts.
Yes.
So they can see further. Right.
Yeah, you got I think it's a bird's nest.
Bird's nest, right?
Yep. The bird's nest is that one at the top where there would always be someone who would sit up there and they'd be peeking out across the horizon.
Land ahoy! And they go, oh,
Land ahoy, exactly.
He can see it before the guys on the boat can.
Yep.
How does that work on planet Earth?
So the screen it currently says there's only one person watching right now, but I don't know if Andrew Johnson and Crypto Rose has left. Your crow's nest. So Crypto Rose is watching. But yeah, maybe Andrew Johnson. Maybe he's too tired.
Hey, crow's nest. Or it could be the black swan nest if you want to call it that.
Well, that's it. The black swan nest. Yes.
Oh my God.
I've seen plenty of black swans. So it's very often.
When they brought that out, I'm thinking, hang on. You look at this proof, the black swan, and they're saying, oh, hang on. They got this the 2 oil rigs, right? And you can see the horizon lifting up higher than it usually because of refraction and high.
Yeah. Is this the one out near Malibu?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, hang on, why don't you go and ask the actual people who actually work on those oil rigs to see if they think the Earth is flat, and they never do.
Oh, well, yeah, you could do that, but you could also go out to the boat, go out there, and then throw your measuring tape up to the first handrail and measure down to the water and find out actually the distance from the handrail down to the water.
Yeah,
and then go and compute that.
All right. Well, they wouldn't do that. That's good research. All right.
Well, it's much harder research than what they're planning to do. That's for sure. Oh. I see Tom Foolery's in here. I may have brought him back over from Twitter. So you guys are more than welcome to grab a mic if you wish to. I don't know if Crypto Roast. I've never actually heard him before, so maybe he doesn't want to come up. I don't know. He'll probably write a comment anyway.
Okay, we're a bunch of Aussies. We're pretty cool. We're laid back, you know. We don't. I mean, it's when I told Swahili yesterday. You know, it's unbelievable to me that there are Aussie Flurfs in Australia. Thinking, what the fuck is going on there?
Yeah, I was actually in a space earlier, and that's one thing I do actually need to go in there and record the space that I was in. But it's going to be like a bloody 15-hour space. I'm going to have to find which hour I was actually entered and exited. Right. Fuck, that's just a pain in the ass. There was a guy from Melbourne who's a concaver. He used to be a flat earther, and he's now a concaver.
Right.
But he sounds all right. I think I might be able to maybe have a couple of chats with him and maybe run some numbers by him and see what he thinks.
Well, again, this is the thing where I suck at maths and my numbers aren't that fantastic. However, if you just use logic to point out to them what the errors they're making, you can look this stuff up to show them what the hell they're rather wrong. However, their numbers. Just like they get it so wrong.
Well, concave Earth has one really, really, really big problem. And I asked about just by the way, Tom Foolery did say, is Billy Zig from Australia? Yes, he is. He's from Melbourne too. So concave Earth has one really big problem, right? And that is the fact that the sun is in the center of the void, and it emits its light out and it spreads out in a sort of like a fan sort of pathway. And I got to admit that the light, where it comes out, it looks like a giant butthole. So the light is actually coming out of a giant fucking anus. And if you were to say, okay, well, the sun must be here and the person who's seeing the sunset is down here, they're pretty much going 179 degrees backwards. So the light is doing a full 180 to be able to re-enter the eyes of that person on the ground.
Oh my God.
So that's one really, really, really big problem with concave. Whereas with globe, we can tolerate a half a degree of bend.
Yeah,
and
that reminds me of Lindsay Harris. Have you ever seen any of his videos?
Nope, don't know Lindsay Harris.
He's the guy. If you go look at him, he's completely insane. He does
don't look
all
at
this.
Him? Well, stop saying his name then.
Sorry, tell me, just go look at him. He's got. He's got this
Do
stuff on the whiteboard. Just let me finish.
Oh shit, Lindsay Harris from New Zealand.
Yes.
Fuck.
You know what I'm talking about now?
Fuck, yes. He actually did a video where he reviewed one of my videos once.
Did he?
Yes. Yeah. And my video was 100% like bang on, clear, like very, very, very strictly correct, right?
Right.
And he goes, look at this dodo bird. This
Mm.
dodo bird's got no brains. And like I'm like, mate, you fucking loser. So I every now and then I go into his comment section and like I say, how's it going, you fucking idiot? Fucking deserves it.
He does.
Tomb of Illumination. You know what the thing is with Tomb of Illumination, right? On his whiteboard, he's got nothing but fucking big fucking titties. You know,
Yes.
vaginas that spit out stars.
I know.
It's so much sexual fucking innuendo. He talks about the female entering the male, and it's like, okay, get your fucking mind out of the gutter, mate. Fuck. He's drawing tits and vaginas all over the fucking screen.
Did you see is it the Sir Six video on his?
Sorry, Zertix.
Sir Six.
Sursic. Don't know. No.
Yeah, I did a short of his on mine. It's good. The boobies.
Okay. Boobies. Oh yes, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, so you're talking about that's Sursic. He's the guy who always puts the what do you call it? He's got the knight.
The knight, correct? Yes.
Yes. He uses some sort of knight, and he basically, is telling everyone they're a fuckwit. Yeah. I get it.
There's some good content creators out there.
Yeah.
Very funny.
He is a little bit hard to watch for a long time because but I mean, if he gets to the point a lot of the time, he could just bring out some more bangers. Oh yeah, okay. So Crypto Rose has said that Tomb of fucking Illumination. Tomb of Illumination went on Jaren's stream and tried to explain, and Jaren said he's nuts. Now I 100% agree. Yeah, Jaren was confused. Everyone was confused. Nobody understands what the hell he's talking about.
Nope.
And he just goes, "You just don't understand." Well, fuck no. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Put him in a straitjacket. Can someone from the New Zealand Department of health, mental health, go and fucking get the cat team on that guy?
Now there was another New Zealand, and this is another thing I couldn't understand is why would any New Zealander be a flat earther? Because they live in New Zealand for a start, which is like Australia but further south. Yeah. And they're on an island. They've got the Southern Cross as their on the flags, same as we do. And hang on. So,
exactly.
So there was a guy who brought out the accurate flat Earth map. Thinking, no.
Here we go.
Truth.
Well, I mean, it's that very concept is ironic because there would never be an actual flat Earth map that is accurate anyway.
No. The only thing good for the only thing the Gleason map is anything good for is for the time, right?
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say toilet paper, but okay, time, sure. I'll accept time. I would use it. If I would use it as toilet paper, I would do a big fucking stinky shit on it.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yes, I can be brash.
Good, please do.
Please do. Yeah, someone will clip me and then put me on their channel and then say, look at this. He's a frothing glober, right? Frothing. Yeah, I actually do have a frothy right now. I got a Peroni because I just had a lovely what do you call it? Fisherman's basket up at the pub, and we were having a beer, and I thought, well, I will quickly get home before I actually like I probably had about one glass, and I thought, I should be right with that, but I'll get home and then have beer. I'll continue the beer drinking after I get home. Right. Instead of doing it all at the pub. And so I'm drinking. Okay, what is this one? Crypto Rose. I am a big fan of Australia's wall theory. What? Australia's wall theory. A map with Australia around the edge. Makes much more sense. Protected by loads of things that will happily kill you. That is correct. I got a I got a funny story the other day. I went to go and put petrol in the car,
Yeah.
and when I lifted up the nozzle, there was a huntsman just nestled right in the actual little
Wow.
nook down the bottom.
Mhm.
And after I filled up the thing, I just very, very carefully put it on, not to squish him or anything like that. But yeah, the big fella just stuck in that little joint where the petrol bowser is.
Well, Australia does have quite, I think, the most animals on the country in anywhere that can kill you. We've got the brown snakes, taipans, deadly sea snakes. We've got funnel web spiders. You name it.
Yeah.
Killer koalas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The drop bears. They're
Drop dead.
they're dangerous. So, but I mean, look, if we had if we had places like Mount Rushmore and stuff like that, we'd probably end up going out to there, and instead of getting bitten by animals, we'd end up just getting shouted to by wits trying to talk about free speech.
Well, we
Can
do have.
someone arrest that guy for shouting too much with his speaker?
He did. I did. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we got Ayers Rock, Uluru, in other words, but yeah,
Oh yeah. I'm probably too young to have ever been able to have the chance to be able to ever walk on it, and I probably won't get the chance actually.
probably not either.
But I did once climb Mount Warning. Mount Warning is now off limits.
There you go. And they say, oh, but you can't go freely in Antarctica, but you can't go freely in
Yeah,
Everest either. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. But no, one of the most crazy things about Mount Warning is that Mount Warning is the first part of Australia which ever gets lit.
there you go.
Yeah, it's actually it's this mountain right on the tip, just above Byron Bay, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's one of the highest elevation at that particular point. So when the sun comes over, Mount Warning gets the first sun of all of Australia, which is I think pretty cool.
And that brings me to the next point. So Mount Morning is the first part that gets sun. However, like Perth is still in darkness, right?
Yeah, very much likely, yeah.
And they're going, well, how does that work on Flat Earth?
My probably one of my first true experiences of being able to understand some of this sort of stuff before I even cared about any of this sort of stuff was I flew from Sydney to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And when I was mid-flight over top of Guam, the sun started to rise over the ocean. And what I noticed, right, is that I looked down at the ocean down below me, and it was pitch black. Like literally the amount of darkness down on the ocean, you would think it was just twilight, nightlight, stuff like that. So you wouldn't see the sun down the water, but I could see the sun from my plane window, and I also looked up towards the sky, and I could still see the stars.
Yeah.
So I could see the stars above me, the sun in front of me, and night down below on the water.
Amazing.
So there was 2 nights and 1 day in one vision.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was one of the most spectacular. It was my first moment, flying overseas, and it was dramatic.
Yeah, I think I had something similar when I drove from Brisbane to Perth in a truck. We had some great days, and then we could saw the sun come up, sunset. We had crepuscular rays and anti-crepuscular rays, sunsets. The bottom of the clouds being beautifully red dragon color. Thinking,
Yep,
it's impossible on flat Earth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I've been overseas too, and you go in flight. You got your chair, and you're looking at the flight, and you can see the curvature of the Earth on the flight window, and thinking, oh, hang on, why don't they show that? Right?
Yeah, no, they had
Yeah,
the last time I was going from Houston to San Francisco on American Airlines, they had a fantastic in infotainment system or whatever like that.
Yep.
And it did the full global thing. You could fully like twist the airplane in the middle of the sky.
Wow.
It was pretty good. I don't know what I was thinking just then. It happens. What
main part.
what are we going to actually talk about tonight?
Let's see now. I was going to say, because I had a few ideas on what I wanted to bring up as my go back. I was going to do a flat Earth retrospective, and
Yes.
all the derpy stuff, but short videos on one particular subject at a time. Like show us the curve as my number one thing. I was going to because we can see the curve from the ISS, but the ISS doesn't exist. Hang on, we've got the ISS and the CSS up there, right? And then they go, space doesn't exist, and they go, hang on, or they complain about NASA. Hang on, we've got a place in Australia where we've had one of the not the International Station, but one of the space stations land in some outback place in Australia, which I've been past to.
Yep.
Yeah, so the stuff happens. There are people out there right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you get see like Astronomy Live or Reds do their streams on the space rockets, they don't go. Why spend all this money to put all this stuff in the air when they're going to land in Bermuda Triangle? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, there's a lot of things that they go on about in that regards, just to prove or disprove that the space stuff that doesn't exist. Because if it did, then that would prove that we do live on the globe, right?
Yeah, it must be just hot, like hot fire to touch. That I don't want to touch it, so they they deliberately try to throw a very, very, very poor argument at you to make you not delve deeper, perhaps.
Red herring.
Because if they knew anything about orbital dynamics and they had any understanding about what orbital dynamics actually means,
Yes.
then you would not be a flat earther at all, because you can't have orbital dynamics over a flat Earth, because you would run out of fuel and just crash.
Now, the other question I had for you is like, they in regards to orbital dynamics, they throw in the second law of thermodynamics.
Yeah, they keep saying that, and that's completely wrong.
And he pointed out to them what I mean. I had to look it up, figure out what it actually is. And it still doesn't. I mean, I'm not a math guy, but yeah, it doesn't. What they say doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay, so I from what I've read, right, and I usually I sort of understood the three laws of motion, all that sort of stuff, but thermodynamics I didn't really care that much about, and most of the time I rearrange them. I don't even remember which one's number one, which number two, but the second law of thermodynamics, right, is that something that is hot will transfer its heat to something that is cold.
Right.
Now, what that's got to do with having an atmosphere out in space, there's no connection at all. I don't understand why they quote that as being the part that's impossible. Sure, maybe you could say, okay, well, the temperature from the ground is being transferred to the vacuum, but the truth of the matter is this vacuum doesn't take the heat away, because it needs to move to another particle to be able to equalize their temperatures. So if you got particle A and particle B, one is 100 degrees, one is 0, and they touch each other, then but I don't know what the correct dynamics, when that one goes to 95 and the other one goes to 5, or when they both go to 50 or not, but that's the transfer. And the higher you go up into space, the particles are much further away, and so there's less of them connecting and touching each other to be able to create that loss in heat.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is why they use it to try and disprove the globe.
Because they heard it from someone else.
Of course.
Because someone else, because Whitsett said it, or Eric DeBay said it, and they don't understand that. They just repeat the exact same thing without actually going and double checking what the second law of thermodynamics actually is.
Right. They scattergun you and throw all these red herrings at you to try and confuse you.
Yeah, just to confuse you. Well, I'm assuming that Crypto Roast is our main customer right now. I think he's the only one actually watching us. So I hope we have performed many dances for you guys, and you've been laughing at us being stupid. So, as far as I know, from what the message he's written in the comments, it seems like he's actually at work, and he doesn't want to pick up the phone because he won't get any work done.
Well, he says here, please
Which is
don't
fine.
expect Flurfs to understand what a pressure gradient is. Impossible task.
Yes.
Correct. And we
Yes.
try to explain to them, like, when you go up a mountain, like, for example, Everest or even the mountain you just mentioned, it's the air up there is a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Yep. I've even got a sketch. I might see if we just continue talking. I might see if I can go and get my old sketch, which was my pressure gradient sketch, because I went and I was a little bit unhappy with most of the diagrams online, and so I wanted to go out there and analytically correctly do it according to facts I was finding online, and try to piece it all together.
Great.
So yeah.
But is the pressure in a container?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. I mentioned to I think Brian about like I said last
Brian
night.
Mabbott?
No, this is a Brian Sweet.
Yeah.
I mentioned to them about like I said last night, filling up all the gas bottles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you go into a petrol station, if LPG is leaking, it's leaking in the area, right? It will float around your ankles. It'll literally like not rise above like about a foot off the ground, and it'll seep all over the place like fluid through the air, but it's still a gas and you can't see it.
Right.
And so the weight of the LPG is heavier than the air around you, and so it doesn't naturally just want to rise or want to do other things. It sits, and that's the same theory with air pressure.
Correct.
Yeah, I need to focus on reading here, trying to find out where my document is. Where did I put it under pressure? No. God damn it! I've got so many micro files with so many ideas and sketches and stuff that I've totally forgotten where everything is. Here we go. Air pressure. Those are drawn. Those are not good.
I was watching Sean Hawkins earlier today with the semi-dome, the personal dome around us on the flat Earth.
So did you say Shane Hawkins?
Sean Hawkins.
Okay. Don't know that one.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Okay. So you actually do like him?
I think again, he's been around a while. He's been trying to debunk. Gives flat away to run for his money.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like about these people who go out and put a video out, talk to these people, try and talk to these people, go into the discords and try and bang some sense into them, and all they've got is denial or some any excuse they can come up. And then to find out, like Aussie Jesus, and then Scotty Storm, as I mentioned the other day, the guy we mentioned the Mitchell from down under, finding out there's Aussies that think the Earth is flat. I'm thinking you can't be serious. So yeah, it's always been amusing to find that out. But fortunately, there's not that many of them.
Okay.
Hopefully to be even less after this TFE goes out.
Yeah, hopefully so. I might just let me know whether or not you can see. Can you see a JPEG image on my screen?
Not yet. Oh yes again. Yes again. Yep.
Okay, I'll full scale it. Okay, so I drew this. So yeah, this is coming from my sweat and blood, man. So I physically drew this. And I went and got went to some websites which would tell you where the actual air pressure was, and I also went and got a calculator, downloaded it, and I tried my best to sort of brute force the higher levels because it kind of had a theoretical max. Where I think it went up to like 60,000 feet or something like that. And I forced it to start giving me higher numbers, just by working the Excel document. But as you can see here, so okay, they can't really see that little building. So as you can see here, I've got this. Can you see the two little skyscrapers on the bottom?
I certainly can.
Yeah, and can you actually read it?
Burj Khalifa and CNN Tower.
Yeah, good. Okay, so that means you're seeing everything I'm seeing. That's good. Okay, so as you can see there, so sea level's 101 kPa, and at the top of the Burj Khalifa, it's 94 kPa, right? And so some of the mid clouds are in the 6,000 to 9,000 foot sort of range. That's where most clouds are supposed to be, apparently. And they're at about 81 to 72 kPa. Now I've got here Mount Blanc, which is 4,800 meters high, so 4.8 kilometers high, and it's at 57 kPa. So we started at 101 and we made it to 57. So when you get to the top of Mount Blanc, the amount of atmosphere that you have is half. So if you're 15 psi, you must be at about 7.5 psi. And as you can see here, I've got a Cessna. It's a very, very tiny little dot. So that's a Cessna that can go to 14,000 feet. And when you get up to those sorts of heights, you need to go and put your mask on to be able to fly a bit better. And of course, this is Mount Everest up here, 8,800 meters high, so 8.8 kilometers, and the amount of kPa is 30. So that's where you're 1/3 of the air pressure down. And of course, the Boeing 747-8 cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, and that's down at 24 kPa. Now, I did have the
and just to interrupt you, the kPa is kilopascals.
Kilopascals, yeah. But I did go out there and put the PSI on this, and this is something probably most people are a bit more used to, because kPa is probably more scientific one. So the atmospheric pressure, there we go. Zoom in on it. Okay. So atmospheric pressure, we experience atmospheric pressure up to, well,
so
just over
the main
top
word in there. You got sphere in atmosphere. You got stratosphere with the sphere, and you got
spheres inside of that. That's for sure. But most atmospheric pressure is within the height up to Mount Everest, and they considered low vacuum to be between Mount Everest and what looks like. See, it's 100,000. It's just over 100,000 feet, so it must be about 31 kilometers high. So these arrows are specific.
Line, or the common line higher than that?
The common line is much higher than this.
Okay.
So as you can see, this chart, it only goes up to 36 kilometers high.
There you go.
Right. So this hasn't gone anywhere near the common line vacuum at all.
Right.
So I've only got medium vacuum here. I had a lot of trouble with the Excel document trying to actually get the decent figures. It got to a point where it just simply said error, right? And so so we down here we're at 14.69 psi at sea level. And at the height of where the Mount Blanc is 8 psi, where the Cessna was flying was about 2.6 psi, 2.1 psi. Hold on one sec. Sorry. No, sorry. The Cessna was at it's down over here. Sorry, I was looking over here. That's wrong. So the Cessna, which is this little one here, it must be at about 9 to 10 psi in air pressure. The Boeing 747 is at 3.45 psi. Okay, so at top Mount Everest,
SI-77. the stealth bomber.
Yeah, what 60,000 feet, I believe.
All right.
So 60,000 feet is 1 psi.
There you go.
And I believe that the what they've said is the cabin, because the speeds go so fast,
Yes.
and because the pressure on the inside is so strong. Apparently it's much lower pressure, because it's like they probably keep you at 10 psi or something like that, just so you
Right.
don't have to go all the way down to 15. But if they keep you at 10 and they've got one on the outside, they've got a 9 psi difference.
Yes.
And not only not only do you have pressure pushing out, but you're also going really, really fast.
Yes.
And that creates extreme amounts of heat on the outside of the actual cabin. And if you get too much heat, you will warp the actual outside frame, and you could destabilize it to the point where it just simply just tears off and everyone just pops outside.
Yeah.
Everyone will just obliterate outside the windows, and just you'd be hailing dead bodies everywhere. But so yeah, 1 psi at 60,000 feet, and when you get up to 36 kilometers, you're at 0.001 psi. Now, I have tried to double check this a couple of times, and sometimes I get 0.0012 and 0.0015 and stuff like that. But generally, you're already like 1,000th of the psi of over here. So 1 psi, and you're going back 1, 2, 3 decimals. So you're 1/1000th of the pressure that you are at the height of where the SR-71 is.
Yeah. And do you
And that's
remember?
at 36 kilometers.
Do you have the height of what Mr. Sensible's Mage balloon went to?
The Sensible's Mage balloon wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't is that the Red Bull guy, or is that the guy who looked out the small window in the cabin?
No, Mr. Sensible is another flat earth debunker.
Oh, okay.
He made his own balloon, and
Okay.
he got approval to set it up and everything. He put cameras and everything like that, and it went to a certain height. But yes, the Red Bull went a lot higher, to way up there. And again, they said, "Oh, you can't see the horizon and everything." They gave all these excuses, but we can see the curvature of Earth quite
Oh, I
clearly.
think you can see the curvature at whatever those balloons heights are. But I mean, if you have the number, that would help me to be able to find out where it is.
Yeah, and I have to
Unless
go
you want me
find
to
it.
Google
Yeah,
it.
that's all right. We can talk about it later.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that's
Well done. That was brilliant. That's
it is a very comprehensive diagram. I tried to give many hit points. I think if I do update this, I'll put the Concorde at the 60,000 feet, and I might see if I can put some other things in, like yeah, whatever, the SR-71 and the Concorde. So, but yeah, so that's that. So let me go back. I probably missed a whole bunch of comments.
Give you a round of applause for that. Well done.
Thank you. So education. At least someone got a little bit of education on this stream.
Those would learn things.
The 0 people who are now watching. So people might get the wrong idea. Ah, okay. Yes, I must take the point off.
Yes.
There you go. Crypto Rose didn't want me to have that thing on the screen, so it says point proven. Welcome to Flat Earth. He's right. I should. If only it made a small bell, when people need to activate. I guess that would be all right.
We're not Flat Earthers, Crypto Rose. We're definitely not.
Oh yeah, he knows that. You know, I had I don't know if you saw my videos the other day, but I was headbutting it with a couple of guys who were talking about the SR-71,
Right.
you know, Blackbird.
Yep.
And they actually asked me, they said, okay, does the SR-71 fly better than, no, they said does the shuttle, shuttle Columbia, all that sort of stuff, does that fly better than SR-71? And I said no. I said the SR-71 is like, an advanced piece of like war machinery, which is like, a stealth fighting, airplane, which, flies through the sky at alarming speeds.
Yep.
And I said, but do you believe that the shuttle did 17,000 miles per hour? And I said,
Yeah.
yes. And they said, your logic is completely out the wall, and and you must think that the shuttle flies better than the SR-71. And I went, well, the SR-71 is flying through the atmosphere. It relies on scooping the air into the engine to be able
Yes.
to put the jet out the back,
Correct.
whereas the shuttle is just simply just floating around in space.
Correct. Right. And it's also coming in from space, going through the barrier that that Kármán line, where we want to call it. This is where the bounce, the no go zone is. Right.
Yes,
They've got to hit it at a particular angle to come in, and then they're coming in at incredible speeds.
yes,
And the friction alone. This is why they got all this panic with this uh,
yeah. The heat
fiberglass at the
tiles.
bottom of it, heat tiles at the bottom
Yes,
to, and then it's just like a glider coming in, but it's red hot. it's
yes,
supersonic speeds. So yeah,
yes,
it
and
doesn't. It's not designed to fly like the SR-77. It's designed to fly
yes.
in space.
It's a flying brick,
It
and that's
is
what the pilot said. It was a flying
flying
brick.
brick. Yeah,
But
sorry
when
about
it
the language.
comes down, it has to descend at like I don't know the exact number, but it was like it has to almost descend at 45 degrees because they cannot keep it in the air good enough.
Nope.
It would literally is so damn heavy with not enough lift that it has to glide at a certain angle to be able to come down to touchdown. So it was when they commit to landing at the airport, they have to commit at the exact right location,
Yeah.
or else they'll end up in the ocean.
Great.
But yeah, like this was the funny thing about it was the fact that they said, oh, you said, yeah, but if it goes like 17,000 miles per hour down to the atmosphere, does it fly better? I said, well, it slows down when it comes to the atmosphere.
Great.
And then he said, oh, how does it slow down when it comes to the atmosphere? And I said, the air. And they said, the air? Are you sure? And I went, yes, the air. It slows them down.
Yes, it's good. Yeah.
It's
Well,
like when you get in your car and like you can feel all the wind pushing on the front of your car.
yeah, to make the SR-77, I think it's the Blackbird, which is the first one, because the Blackbird, when it's on the ground, it's very loose in its design. The wing, it's got all this space between the wings and everything, because
Yes.
at the ground level, it doesn't need any kind of adjustment, and it leaks like a sieve, right?
Yes.
But when it starts going higher and faster,
yes,
the speed and everything puts everything back together again, and it just flies like it just goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I've actually wondered. You know how what is the maximum speed of an SR-71 at only 100 meters high?
Don't know.
I'm assuming it can do 2,200 mile per hour or 2,200 kilometer per hour, right? At its best, at optimum position, right? But if it's actually only at 100 or 200 or 300 meters high, is its maximum speed like 600 kilometers per hour? I don't know, because it probably can't. It has more air resistance going over the wings.
Yeah.
It probably has to reach a certain speed to be able to actually stay with lift.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that it would not be able to break max speed at all at 500 meters high.
I guess not. Different planes for different purposes, I guess.
Yeah, it would be useless down low.
Yeah. And Crypto Rose says the best evidence for curve to ever provide a Flurf is the Mesos rocket launch, 56 miles up, rectilinear lens, no fisheye diameters, not NASA clear curve. Even see the Pacific Ocean curving. Now, the only thing is, Crypto Roast, in regards to that, Flurfs don't believe in rockets for the first place. So you got to lose there. Rockets don't exist because they break the second law of thermodynamics. Okay. Whatever you say, buddy.
Yeah, Kirk Douglas. Yeah, I've seen this one before. Some things that they miss every single time, right? Is They say how is it that a rocket can fly in a vacuum, with no air?
Yeah.
But when you watch these rocket launches, as they climb up, as they get above 20 kilometers, as they get above 40 kilometers, as they get above 60, they get faster and faster and faster. They go from 800 kilometers per hour up to 1800 kilometers per hour up to 3000 kilometers per hour. So as they go higher and higher and higher, the speed increases. And so that's them going literally into that area where they have less air to be able to push off as what they like.
Yeah. And again, like they put a lot of work into getting these things up into space. So when you go, if you've seen Apollo 13, they're putting short bursts of whatever it is out into space to move the spacecraft left, right, or down or up, or pitch and yaw, right?
Yep.
And they go, how do these rockets work in space? Because they carry their own bloody oxygen.
So, well, that's the thing. That is the thing. Half of their tanks are oxygen.
Yeah.
So they're literally taking their own atmosphere with them.
Yeah.
All it really needs is one particle on the inside of the rocket to knock against the second particle inside that rocket to be able to continue that motion.
Yeah.
But I still believe that it's obviously one of the other laws of like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's the primary thing. If you throw something out the back, something goes forward.
Yeah.
So while we're chatting here, I've got the Kip Duradas. Fuck,
I've seen this one. Yeah.
Durg Irdas. I don't know.
He bought it amazing. He put it on his own and put it out there.
Yeah, I wonder how much you paid. Probably about $30,000 to $60,000. I'm guessing. It's a shame. It's a shame the camera is actually sideways for half of this thing, and then it flips back around. But oh, you're getting dizzy. I've actually muted it so you don't actually hear the sounds, and that actually kind of works with because like last night we couldn't actually hear what I was playing. So
that's right.
Yeah.
But you can stop at any frame there, and you can see the curve quite clearly. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see
and where they go wrong, and they go on unnecessarily quite a bit, but they don't realize that the Russia was the first people in space.
Mm-hmm.
They put Sputnik up, so all the news articles. So yeah, first man in space, first dog in space, first woman in space.
Yeah, we are. Let's just have pay our respects for the first dogs in space who probably likely all died. So that just said 150,000 kilometers.
Amazing.
That was up in that region where I was mentioning before, with the atmosphere being like below 1 kPa, because 60,000 feet, which is where the Concorde was 1 psi. Yeah. And so wherever this thing is probably down to probably 0.1 psi on the pressure level. And so you would consider this space. You could push through that so easily.
Yeah. And you mentioned the Concorde there. Did you hear about where they were at the base camp or whatever it is, at Punta Reno or at the some lunch they're having, and one of the marathon runners was arced up at Whitsett, saying he's been on the Concorde and could see the curve. And said, no, you haven't. Like, okay.
Well, you're saying this was at the marathon they did the other day?
At Punta Arena, where the flat earthers and everyone were meeting up. They had the marathon runners there as well, because they were coming in or going out, or whatever it is, because they were there before the TFE were there.
Okay.
So they were coming back and they were having lunch or dinner or whatever it was, and one of the one of them obviously overheard what Witsit was saying about something, and one of the marathoners, oh, but I've been on the Concorde and I could see the Earth curve, no problem.
Yeah.
And then Witsit goes, no, you haven't. Goes, okay.
Yeah, I kind of asked again because I was on a space a while ago, and there was a guy who said he was on the Concorde, and he saw the curve, and Witsit said the exact same thing back to him at that point in time. So same damn thing.
Well, I remember one particular year where Elton John was in London doing a concert, and he had to finish his concert in London, get on a Concorde, and fly to New York to do the New Year's concert there.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work
really?
out? Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I'm just having a quick look back at my chart. So my chart maxed out at 120,000 feet. So that went above the chart that I had. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can.
Hey, perhaps you could get Eduardo to come on.
Is there someone in there? Sorry, where is?
Eduardo just posted a video. It was 7 days ago. I will look and see if it was online.
Okay. Do you know how to get them on?
No.
No. It's coming up on midnight now, anyway.
All right, fair enough. Look, been guest bagging you for a while now.
Yeah, we probably have. I don't know. It says it's been going for an hour and a half. Oh, sorry, an hour and 11 minutes. We're almost like Flurfers ourselves, just rambling for hours.
But at least the I'll listen and pause, and then you listen and pause, and then we have a decent conversation. We don't scattergun with.
Yes, we haven't scattergunned each other.
No.
Yes.
I do try to listen, but yeah.
Yes. Well,
and thank you again for letting me be here. I appreciate it.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm kind of surprised, obviously, that you clicked on so quickly. You must have seen it. Well, I did give it a 15 minutes sort of walk in, I guess. And so you may have seen that it was getting ready. I don't know.
Well, again, I got you subscribed, and I saw the link in the text box, but that wasn't the right one. Then I saw you post the link in the chat. I thought, okay, did that one that worked?
Yep. Yeah, good. Now what I've got to do is I've got to figure out how to make this background. At the moment, it's got this live with StreamYard thing. I don't know how to turn that off. Right. If anyone can help, that would be good. Because I know for a fact that it didn't have this for originally.
Right.
So
I'll give you this because I just watched this one myself. Where are we? I posted in the chat, and I posted in here as well.
In the chat, what have you got?
And here as well. So this is the one I just watched today in regards to
so Eduardo is Andrew Johnson, is it?
I think so. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. I'm free.
They probably do have the same voice.
Yeah. Eduardo posted Andrew Johnson's video, but Eduardo's not Andrew Johnson. I don't think so. I have no idea. Could be. Could be just rambling here. All right. So I just posted a link to a video I watched today from.
Oh, you put it in the private chat.
Yeah, and also on the chat on the live stream as well. This is Flat Earth. Flat Earth has just proven themselves wrong by some ordinary gamers, which I thought was quite amusing. But 26 minutes, but it's quite amusing for those who want to listen. Because anybody who takes on this insanity of the Flat Earth, I just give points to, because to think the world that we've been living on for the past millennia is flat is just pure insanity. Everything. I mean, we've got people in space. We've got people who've traveled around the world multiple times. We've had the complaint about the complaint about anything, the non-stop flight or the flights from North Pole to South Pole back to the North Pole again. And the complaint about that. So one more orbit was one that came up recently. So there's a lot of things out there that people have done, proven over and over again. Done experiments. You've seen, the Cavendish experiment in a sort of like a tube. You've got Professor Phil Bell, who actually works on satellites that go into space. So, and when like, for example, Raichi came on board, and Professor Bell kept pointing at her and giving her tips and everything. She came around, and then Ranty was one of the first ones that said, Jose, he doesn't do any videos lately, but don't know where he is. A lot of people came around. So once you go flat, you never go back. I mean, hang on, that's not true.
Yeah. No, I've now spoken to a few who have converted back. Right. No, like I've spoken to a few who have gone back to concave Earth, and that's probably halfway there.
We had STST, who speaks truth. He came full back after.
Sorry, did you say FTFE?
ST. Speak truth, seek truth. His name was English guy.
Okay.
He was doing. He became a Flurf because he watched a few videos from Eric or somebody, and just followed their line. But then he asked questions with cats, and he pointed out the moon phases, because down here in Australia we see the opposite side of the moon.
Yes.
Right. And I've traveled from here to London, right, on a 747. Took me a couple of many hours, and the moon's the completely opposite way. And thinking, there you go. How does it work? They can't explain it.
Yes. Yes. But we're not looking at the backside, are we? We're not. We're still looking at the same side.
Yeah.
I was.
Shall I wrap it up?
Yeah, I was going to say something. Fuck.
I keep interrupting you. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Nah, it's all right. It's all right. Hopefully we can get hopefully I'd like to see a few of the other guys come in and stuff like that. Like I don't know if you guys speak with,
I'll see if I can get Connor Terry to come on board.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind I obviously wouldn't mind getting Piper up here. I want to get Ruif maybe along here, and he's good quality. I love and I mean, like I've interacted. I've sort of sent messages. I've commented on Wolfie's messages for years, but I still don't think he really knows who I am at all. That's right. Even though I've been fucking around space for 7 odd years as well. So,
well, Wolfie, I mean, he doesn't do flat Earth material much at all, but he does support us.
I see him in the messages all the time.
Yeah, I know he does.
But he's out there messaging all the time.
He doesn't put any videos out, is what I'm saying.
No, he's not. He sort of he gave. I wonder what sort of made him stop. He just got sick of it.
Oh, yeah, because they put out the same rubbish. So they're telling him, they're saying that he's not a pilot. Then he talked to a pilot in America, I think it was America, who he thought the world was flat, but he was like a local pilot, and he had a lot of speech difficulties and stuff, but he's still a pilot, which is pretty good for him. But yeah. So,
I have remembered what I was actually going to say.
Go ahead.
So you reminded me though about one more orbit from 2019, right?
Yeah.
And that would have that most people would have said, "Yep, there you go. That's something really, really significant." And flat earthers they discouraged it. They thought it was not real because they cranked like 60 degrees when they got to the bottom. But now, do you think that in 3 years people will consider the final experiment to be old news, and they'll roll back their ideas on Antarctica or not. And I mean, the second question to that, realistically, is do you think that we could now question them about one more orbit now that they know that flying down to the South Pole and cranking 60 degrees back up to South America is 100% what, like, kind of like what Whitson and Jaron did?
Well, that's a excellent points there, and one of the things we've got to overcome is their complete lack of understanding on how airplanes fly, and they keep bringing up their, the nose has got a dip every whatever it is, 8 seconds or whatever to keep it
Yep.
flying or whatever, right? And I'm thinking, hang on. And I thought of an experiment to counter this argument. Those toy airplanes you get, right?
Sure.
And so I thought, okay, what if you put a string at the middle of it, and you long enough string, and you start doing a spin like a circle, spinning. You're spinning the airplane around. It's going round and round and round and round, right?
Yep. Is
And
is the string on the bottom or the top?
on the bottom of the airplane.
The bottom of the airplane. Okay.
Right. So it's like, so you can actually, you could let's say normally you put the string on the wing, but this time you're putting it on the bottom, right? So you're handing it, so it's hanging upside down on your when you first start it, and you start swinging it, and you start rotating it, and by centrifugal force, it starts to fly around in a circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, okay, this is a great demonstration because that plane is flying around a circle like it would be flying around the Earth, staying at a level all the time, not dipping its nose at all. You see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one point we've got to beat them with a stick. But yeah, the TFE, since there's so much evidence preponderance out there, they said there's no evidence. They've been actually been there. Now they can go actually see other videos out there. So maybe this isn't fake now, because remember they tried to say the original video had the West and the North in there as text, some excuse like that.
Yep.
Any excuse anyway. But there's other videos out there, but there's thousands of videos of the northern hemisphere, northern thing out there, the North Pole. I haven't seen many out there at all, right? It's completely different. So yeah, this will sting them for many years to come. It's just beating them over the head with it, and then saying, okay, we've proven this to you. What do you say about this? What is it? And you can start breaking down the points with them one bit at a time. Because if you try to overload them, like they try to do with us, with all the scattergun and everything, they're just going to, lose it again.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I said to Piper tonight on the phone is the fact that I don't think that they can use the Gleason's map anymore. So people like I know, like Flat Earth Banjo has a Gleason's map in behind him and stuff.
I know.
And it just hangs up there as he does his, and we got this destination. It is not true. He does his horrible accent.
Yeah.
But the Gleason map is just sitting there behind him. Now, I'm hoping that the people who watch his channel start to go, okay, he's still kind of hanging on to this Gleason's map, but
Right.
I know for a fact that this Gleason map has problems now.
Correct.
So is this guy simply hanging on to this for dear life because Gleason doesn't map. It doesn't work.
Crypto post here. Oh, just missed it about something about Wolfie. They're clinging hard to Gleason's map. That's why they're trying to cast doubt on the TFE and claim fakery so they can carry on holding. Correct, Crypto Rose. They're throwing everything they can to discredit the information that they've seen with their two eyes, because everything's been videoed and everything. Some of it was live streamed as best as they could. And we've seen the sun go in the opposite direction compared to what they see in the north. So, but no one points it out.
Yeah, but I mean, look, personally, I think that if Whitson and Jaron still remain in the community, They are going to be like if you were to go out there and imagine that the globe proponents are the green side,
Yeah.
and the flat Earth proponents are the yellow side, right?
Yeah.
There is going to be a couple of green and yellow people, and those green and yellow people will they will constantly be there just to remind both sides that something's not right. And so if they remain, their constant irritation in the field
Yes.
will make sure that this question doesn't die,
Okay. Okay.
because we keep repeating the journalism thing where he says interesting, and that's from from that movie,
Earth.
and so
Yep.
those memes continue to come up and get thrown at them every single time. So will the videos of them getting on camera saying I was wrong, is I think it will continue to be reshown. People will have like a 5-second clip, and they will do "I was wrong"
Yep.
on the journalism thing, and they will always they'll say thanks, Jaron, or
Yep.
Thanks, Witsit, for their plight.
Yeah, but again, you've seen even prior to the TFP, even prior before they even got there, when they started, they were first accepted the offer to go. The piranhas came out and started ripping them to pieces.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I saw this what Crypto Rose said here, where it says about they're claiming the time lapse is fake because of the shadows, and they weren't shadows; they were yardsticks tuned used to measure shadows.
Yeah.
So some of the things I've tried to explain to many people before is when you go out there and measure shadows, you have to go point to point. You don't do it from the bottom of the stick out. You don't figure out where that is, because if a yardstick is on a 45-degree angle, the shadow is going to be all wrong because it has to be directly up to be able to make it worthwhile. But if you draw a line between the top of the stick and the top of the shadow, that is what points to the sun.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's what they did, the reverse Eratosthenes experiment, which I haven't heard back from, but it'd be interesting to find out what that was.
Yes, I wouldn't mind doing another one of those. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up because it's 3 minutes to midnight, and Crypto has got a lot of work to do. He needs a bit of help. I think the cat is lying on his keyboard as we speak. It's looking at him with both of its hands hanging off the laptop bench, going meow.
Well, thank you, Crypto Rose, for being on the show.
Yeah, being our one watcher. Apparently, there's now a second watcher, so maybe we should go for another hour.
Well, again, it's up to you. I've got, I'm still up from the my had a siesta earlier today when I came back from hospital. Yeah.
Oh yeah, how'd you colonoscopy? Did they find any Flurf teas inside your diet?
They found 6.
They found 6 Flurf teas inside your diet.
Yeah, they found 6.
Fair
They removed them.
Okay.
All good.
Fair enough. Did you feel more awake than you've ever felt awake when you came out of your knocked out coma?
No, again, I was they didn't put me into a knocked out state. That they gave me
They
they gave you the whistle.
Oh right.
And it's like happy gas, laughing
Okay.
gas type of stuff, and that makes you feel the pain less, but it's still a bit uncomfortable, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, like I've only done it once before, and I think they gave me something, and they knocked me out for X amount of hours, like maybe 45 minutes or something like that. And when I woke up sitting on a chair, next to a bed, with a couple of curtains around me. And I looked around and I went, oh my God, that's like the best sleep I've had in like 40 years. It
good.
Literally, the depth that you go into your sleep mode is just magic.
It is. It's pretty good. No,
I would imagine if they go too far, you probably die.
Well, again, I was in induced coma when I had pneumonia, but that was another story.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Another story for another day. Anyway,
Yeah.
again, thank you so much, Swali and Crypto Roast and everyone else out there. It's been a pleasure. We'll try and do more of these, and we'll try and come up with some sort of format.
Yeah, well, look, I don't know. I mean,
If you wish to,
like,
if you want to.
this is the thing: is the fact that I've produced so much comment, and I've produced a whole bunch of content, right? And most people are always looking for the latest content. And so you can do lots and lots and lots of really good quality stuff when you had like 2 followers watching you, and so people might not go and see that. It's probably not a bad idea to be able to resurface it in something like this and make people go back to look for it.
Well, how about this? So let's say next video that you see that you like, and you want to, we can do a.
We can put it in the list for to
and we
publish.
can watch it together and comment about it if you want.
Yeah, I just need to figure out how the hell to unless maybe you can go out there and share a video yourself. Because I believe that there is ways I can get you to present your own videos.
Right.
The only catch is that you got to make sure that you're obviously your desktop. It only goes through and sees your desktop or sees your browser or whatever like that. You got to make sure that your screen's clear.
Yeah.
You don't have your name and your address and your phone number just blaring all over the screen.
I'm not that stupid.
Anyway.
All
right. Good to speak to you again, and thanks for watching Crypto Roast. Hopefully, maybe we'll get you on stream next time.
Yeah, don't be shy. You know, we won't bite. We promise.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he will come up one day.
And if you know any flat earthers who want to come in debate, apart from Matthew Hakim, we'd be happy to debate you.
Yeah, and look, I've got a mute button down here, so I can mute them. Although personally, I really wouldn't want to mute people anyway.
No,
I'd rather just hear them out. But yeah, all right. I'll catch you later. We're gone 2 past midnight. Good night.